Oh my god.
Wait, you're talking about in character, out of character. I just looked up Google and I just Googled random birds.
I'm talking in character. I'm saying, like, what's the backstory of the bird? Where did it come from? Did you just find it in Lubo?
I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, to be honest. I'm gonna say
Get it together, man!
get it together. I just got here. Well, I want to say that
Not even supposed to be here today.
I want to say that McMuffin sort of found them. Yeah, he sort of found them last night, probably after coming from the bars early morning, and they just saw it outside their window, and it had a. I want to say it's like a baby, not a baby, but it's relatively young, and it has an eggshell on its head. And Muffin saw this and says, "Whoa, this bird's just like me." And from there on, it seemed like they were just friends. I don't know. That's the best I can come up with, to be honest.
The bird flew up to him and started trying to talk chipmunk at him.
I just started chirping. It just started chirping, and when McMuffin saw the eggshell wasn't leaving his head, he's like, "Whoa, this bird's just like me."
Okay, I can see it. The first thing that jumps into my mind is there was like a poker game or something in the bar, in the tavern, and like the dude had this on his shoulder and you loved it and were watching the game, and he was down, so he put the bird into the pot, and somehow you end up with the bird. Whatever. Something
that works. We could play it off as like we won it in a bet or something.
Yeah, and like it can also be like everyone's like, "Where'd that bird come from?" You're like,
yeah. We can also just play it off as if McMuffin always had it or just retcon it. I could work with that too.
No, that's totally fine. I don't care. Which way you want to go. It's all fun. I thought
you always have that bird.
I actually like that concept. That's actually fun. It just all of a sudden, you just see McMuffin with a bird. He's just like,
you're just gonna have to watch out because Gorath is gonna see that and he's gonna be like, "I want that in my stomach."
Yep.
Come here, buddy.
And McMuffin will just say, and I can already. McMuffin will take 10 steps backwards and say, "Yulia, can you keep an eye on this work for me, please?"
Yulia looks delighted. Oh, how cute! And starts immediately petting it.
Bird pecks your hand.
How dare you? Oh, how cute!
I'm also thinking. I think we're just going to call it Hissy Fit. Hissfillet?
Hissy Fit.
Hissy Fit. The town that McMuffin is from is basically this world's Portland.
Portland, Oregon? Yeah. Portland?
Yeah. So everyone has parrots on their shoulder, so this just makes...
Just everybody.
Everybody. I must have missed that when I was in Portland.
It's compulsory.
It's that tattoos, beards, and double-decker bikes, man. You just got to go with it. I'm now
side cuts and green hair.
Hissy Fit is home of the IPA.
They make excellent craft beer.
Exactly. It's like it is a port town, kind of.
I'm down with this. New canon.
I like this. And so, yeah, everyone. It's not uncommon to have a bird. Because, sailors.
I mean, he is like a sailor, kind of, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say I fished, but how do you... What, you want me to carry a goldfish around? I can do that.
He's just in a little bag.
Just flapping on his shoulder all the time.
I would do it. But we'd have to figure some magical element behind that because...
No. I'm just saying, if you're kind of pirate or sailor-esque, you totally don't have to have a reason to have a parrot.
No,
you just you get one. Yeah.
Wait.
They give them out at the Pirates Guild.
Yeah. it's issued to you along with a peg leg.
There are a
and
lot of
cat.
instances of compulsory birds in this world.
Yeah, it's like it's like a level of achievement where, like, I got my bird.
Yes. I see. You've got your wings there.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
That'll be perfect.
I know what the bird's name is.
Okay, what is it?
All right.
Birdie.
Not too.
You want to know why?
Excellent.
I don't.
No, Birdie.
I have no idea.
You want to know why?
No.
I'll show you why.
Tell me.
Oh god.
That's exactly why.
Wow. Oh
I
my
forgot
God.
this existed until I looked up. I need a birdie. I need a bird name, and I just looked up Bird McDonald's, and that's the first thing that came up.
That's amazing. I love it.
So, so where are we at? So we've leveled up level 3. Are you guys able to screenshot me or whatever your stats or your character sheets?
I sent mine to mine are in chat. I think Shauna's
Mine
are in
as
chat.
well. Yep, I'll just have to scroll up a little bit.
Oh, did I miss that? Oh, duh. There it is. Cool. I'm going to put these. Let's see. Well, I'll get them in a bit. Those are rad. McMuffin, have you got yours or no?
I do. I'm actually screenshotting them now.
Okay, that's cool. Because then I should know to do this because it's easy to forget them. And I like to review them before, because like when I'm prepping, I'm usually looking like, okay, what stat have we not explored, which would be kind of fun. Like if you had turn, I would have a lot more skeletons in this game. Cool.
I hope this.
No, that totally works. It's great. Cool. So, yeah.
Can we do sort of a short recap? Because I remember very little of what we did last time, except that we went
just
down.
got done watching an airship take off.
Yeah.
Okay. And Yulia got into a small library to read up on more info.
1 sec.
We went to a tavern. We got rid of our loot, but not all of it. What else happened?
We went with McMuffin to somewhere, and something happened with your book, I think.
That is true.
Yeah, this is why I really need to write this stuff down as we go. Let me get a piece of paper.
All I wrote down were
that
people's
with.
names. I think I have my notes here on what I wrote down. The team travels to Lubo, Port Town, Central Square, shared marketplace of the rich and the old. We traveled in this marketplace for a bit until Yulia, until we went to the bar, and Yulia met Brother Ralph. While that was going on, Gorath was getting drunk, and McMuffin had gone to the Sailors Guild in Lubo to talk about the recent incidents that happened on his fleet. And afterwards, the group the group had saw the aeronaut. His name was Santo Regulus Dumont. Aeronaut, rich snob guy. That's what I wrote in my notes.
Cool.
I wrote more, but that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I said
That's
a rich
all that's appropriate for TV.
Rich snob who can cast magic and flies on a hot air balloon.
Right. True.
And I think the final part is that we were investigating Treckle. I think because he had sold a sword from the famous sailor that McMuffin knows. And I think the sword Gorath now has.
Yep. Skull sword. That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's got a skull on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it matches your pauldrons.
It really
Yes.
does.
You're very fashion conscious, Gorath.
Gorath accessorizes like a champ.
Like a mofo.
Like a mofo.
Plus all of my artisanal tattoos.
Yeah, stick figure with skulls on them.
Yep.
Oh, and I picked up yarn. I do remember that. Don't worry, Gorath. Your skull beanie is coming.
Matching sweaters for the whole crew?
All right, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Wow.
Blue.
I thought he was going to ask for colors to match his toucan.
That also
man.
could work.
Yeah.
Those would be good colors.
Yeah.
It would. That's a fashionable toucan. All right, toucan sweater for McMuffin.
In my notes, I had you guys were exploring Lubo. You sold your loot to Matty Grimm, who is the Thief Guild lead, whatever. Fence. Remember our friends Jacob and Edward, the guards that were bullying McMuffin.
Yep.
And also, trying to just reel in Gorath a bit. We learned some possibly disturbing trends about McMuffin's family. Just curiosities at this moment, but curious. Yulia did figure out the sundial riddle. The next clue was, she said, to travel to Cloud City. You guys did meet the aeronaut, kind of. He is kind of a jackass. But you saw him take off and go away. Yeah, and Gorath got a cool sword.
Yeah.
So, is it Ripley Gunner Drace? That's the right word? That's her name, right?
Yes, Ripley Gunner Drace.
Does she go by? Is it just Ripley?
Yeah, she can go by Ripley, or I think she'd go by Ripley, but she also go by Miss R.
Oh, right,
I don't know.
Miss R.
Miss R.
Yeah, I get it. Miss R. Yeah, I get it. Okay.
Oh, that wasn't on purpose, but yeah, let's go with that. I'll be honest, most names are puns, but this time around, it'll probably... that's the only name that doesn't have McDonald's pun. But from here on, every character that's related to McMuffin will have a pun that's related to...
She goes by Ripley, believe it or not.
Classic. And we do not know the current whereabouts about the traveling merchant, Mr. Dreckle.
So what cool. Merchant? Sorry?
Traveling. He's a traveling merchant, so he is elsewhere merchandising, I guess, in his travels.
Yeah, he was the one that McMuffin was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a lot of good action. I'm sorry for the stupid cold.
That's A-okay.
Thankfully, it's on its way out. Cool. So you guys, this happened when last we saw our heroes. It was it was midnight. We figured out the book, saw the riddle, and then you guys tell me what you did. Did you just crash?
Yeah, I'm assuming we probably got a room at the inn and took a rest. At least that's probably what Yulia's plan is.
And this tavern was Ye Old Ball and Chain, I think. That's what we named it.
Yep.
Solid.
I'm pretty sure Gorath would continue to partake and have fun at the bar until he was either tossed out or passed out.
Yeah, I imagine, the camera comes in an empty bar, except you, face down on a table.
Yeah, that's how I fucking sleep.
It's solid. And no one disturbed you because it's like all night people were coming in and out and they were tiptoeing around you. Do not fucking poke the orc.
Just thunderous snoring.
Yeah, totally. Occasional talking.
The glasses are rattling on the table.
Another beer.
Cool. So, what do you guys want to do now? Is the question.
Well, how about... I assume we're waking up at this point.
Sure.
Maybe we could sort of meet out... Yeah, how about...
Okay.
Yeah, we can start right outside the bar. I'm assuming we just went to the inn.
Yeah. Is there anything else we want to buy before we head out on our way? We can look at the equipment list. And now that we have a little bit more money, we can actually make some more purchases.
That is a good idea.
Yeah. Well, the question is, where are you going to go? What's your plan? I guess you'd probably want that before you bought gear. Do you guys want to just hash out, like, there's a bunch of little threads to pull, you know?
Oh, I got it. McMuffin sort of gathers the other two's attention, and he says, all right. And then he goes in his backpack and he pulls out a map. And it's just a map of... It's just a really poorly drawn map of things he's marked down. Mm-hmm. But he has his direction of Lubo, and he has a compass. It's enough to figure out where he's going. Anyway, he says, okay, so we have a couple of options here, y'all. And our options are... He said he points into his town of Hisflit. We go there because I think there's something related to my town that's going on about the time magic thingy. Or we could go to, and then he points to, in the direction of Cloud City. We could go there because that aeronaut guy might be doing something. Or, when he looks at the map, he says, and he looks at those two. That's the only two places I can think of. What are y'all?
I think Yulia's vote, since it would have to do with both McMuffin and the time magic, two birds with one stone, so to speak. I guess her vote would be for Hisflit.
Oh, didn't your fancy book say something about Cloud City?
They did indeed, but I mean, again, we. How far is Hisflit away?
Hisflit, I think, I argued actually Hisflit's very close. I know we talked briefly about it being a town that is very close. Yeah, it's very close to Lubo. It serves as a major trading place for horticulture, yada, yada, yada.
Okay, right. As opposed to Cloud City, would it be a longer or a shorter trip?
So Cloud City is further... So Lubo is close to Hisflit by... In general terms... but it's still going to be like a couple days travel. Well, especially if you're going... It depends what your travel means are. Because it's a good... There's many hexes in between there. It's probably 30 hexes, so 300 miles, something like that.
Oof, okay.
Yeah.
And it's... Hisflit isn't necessarily not on the way to Cloud City. So there's that.
Oh, okay. Ooh. If it is on the way, then that just makes it even more of an attractive option because we are absolutely going to Cloud City, but depending on I'm thinking that Cloud City might take longer, maybe.
Yeah, I'd like to give a full. I think it would make sense just thematically. It would make sense to focus on Cloud City in its own what I'm trying to say, not campaign, but its own game.
Chapter, sort of, because I'm assuming Cloud City is this big, huge metropolitan area. I don't know. We can think about that later on. That was my assumption. Yeah, that was my assumption too.
I'm thinking of, if you've ever...
Wasn't as...
Yeah, if any video game you've played with the huge cloud cities that are in the sky and whatnot, they would be this really big metropolitan area. So I would think that would be something you would need to put some time in. Hisflit's a smaller story, but also connected.
Well, wherever we go, we can go there, but I'll let you guys know now that I don't do boats.
McMuffin looks at...
Sky boats?
It's not a sky boat, that's a sky... Well, I guess it did kind of look like a boat, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Not really. It had balloons in it. Boats don't have balloons, Gorath.
Yeah. But if you took a sail... and then you sewed it up, and then you made it inflate, then it would be a balloon.
And like Gorath just kind of like lays this down as like argument 1.
Solid.
I know stuff.
Cool. So so a boat, yes, a boat is going to be faster than walking. They go. It looks like boats go like roughly 3-ish miles an hour, but they go all day. Where a human goes 3 miles an hour, but for 8 hours a day, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Question.
So, yes, sir.
I'm assuming we're taking a boat to his fleet, then it would be a rowboat, because that's 50 silver, whereas a galley is 200,000 silver.
Well, you don't have to buy one, luckily. I don't think you guys could operate a galleon either.
No.
Now, Vark, though McMuffin would love.
3 people.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, I could row a boat really fast, but like I said, why are we talking about boats?
Good question.
Cloud City, but McMuffin sort of scratches his head and he looks at his bird. I think me and Birdie over here would appreciate if we went to his fleet. It's a nice place to go to. Plus, hey, who's to say we won't have...
Would it be possible to take an airship instead of a boat to his fleet?
I think it would be. But you'd have to figure out where the dude is.
Yeah. Didn't he say he was in Cloud City?
I'm sure he goes to Cloud City, but he did leave you his card. I'm not sure what it said.
I think it was just like his name.
It was.
And yeah.
It's email address.
Right.
It'll have like, copyright, 301. I'll be like,
Oh, he's just in copyright.
Exactly. Cool. So
Well,
the
what's
plan.
it-
So you guys want
Go
to?
ahead.
So the idea is to go to his flit, and then maybe from there, Cloud City. Cool. So let me actually look at this. 2, 6.
I'm assuming to get to Cloud City, you need an airship. It's a city in the sky.
Yeah. Or a
Is
really
it?
big bird.
McMuffin looks at Birdie. Unfortunately, I can't take everyone.
Yep.
I know, I've
Unfortunately,
been to lots of places that said one thing and it was something else.
well, Gorath, unless you can fly, I don't think we're getting.
I can jump really high.
That's a start, but not exactly what I was looking for, buddy.
I can jump higher than you can.
he demonstrates.
Jump off. Yep.
He
Okay.
jumps inside of the tavern and just smacks his head against the ceiling.
That is cool. It's definitely, it's like 300 miles to, which, by boat, it's like going to be like 3-ish days, 4-ish days. By airship, probably 2-ish days. By horse, probably 3-ish days. Walking, probably more like 5.
We could see if anybody knows where this airship fellow's at.
Exactly right.
Yep. I think we should just start asking around.
So you're saying an investigation?
He puts on his Sherlock hat, gets a magnifying glass out.
He sort of just like makes a weird pose. He just stretches his legs out and he sort of, I don't know, one of those Sentai warriors. Imagine that. He said, "Time to do an investigation."
Including
Awesome.
Yulia.
Awesome.
Okay.
That was
Well, we're already at the sort of city center, so I would imagine Yulia just starts going up to people and asking them if they know where we can find an airship or find this guy. One of the two.
Cool. So you are in the town center. You know, it's the classic square. There are people milling about. There are definitely, you know, random shops of kind of all ilk. It's not a big town, so it would have, you know, it's actually a pretty small town, actually. I think, what did I say, 1,700 people, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to find people that will point you in the right direction. There is this like little, like fancy-ish small shack with a little balloon outside it that they're pointing you to. That's, you know, at the end of the square.
Well, that seems obvious.
Yeah, he's not trying to hide necessarily.
Balloons.
McMuffin sees the shack and then he looks at the other two. You know, for such a snobby guy like him, wouldn't it make sense?
You cut out.
What's wrong with this place?
You cut out.
It's a wooden shack.
It is.
Maybe he's not.
What was that?
It is a wooden shack.
Maybe he's not actually that fancy, but he likes to pretend that he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes here. He's here specifically because he can look fancy compared to everyone else.
Right. And
McMuffin hears that and he pouts. So he's a liar.
He's a liar?
Or he's just got a really high opinion of himself and lives somewhere where he can actually sort of live out that role. It's like being a bigwig in Nowheresville, Iowa, or something.
Mm-hmm.
What's I?
Meta. It's like the one guy who owns a furniture store and thinks he's hot shit because he's, you know, the richest guy in town.
Mm-hmm. Totally. So you guys are standing outside the store. Outside the store, it is like a little shitty shack, but it has like this cute little balloon. It's like adorable, and it looks way fancier than it really, you know, than the even like it's like an action posed balloon. If you like trying to
What?
Trying to the message here is like the excitement of ballooning, you know, that kind of thing. So it looks like there's banners waving off it and all sorts of things. And maybe it's even like,
okay.
Maybe it even spins a little bit like it's a whirly gig of some sort, which is super fun. I think he probably spent all the money on the sign because the shack is a shack. And like, you know, written in soap, it's like, you know, balloons, tours. I'm sure it actually says balloon adventures, right?
Of course.
But yeah, it's a crappy shack.
All right.
Tiny
Shall
thing.
we go inside? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you guys pop in if you want.
We'll pop in, and Gorath will just be giggling at the balloon, and yeah, he's just gonna be
He loves a balloon.
yeah, he loves balloons now.
Has he ever seen?
Nope, but he has seen one now, and he is in love with it,
Awesome.
like a small child.
McMuffin looks at Gorath and he looks at Yulia and says, and he sort of says, well, here we are.
Right.
And he opens the door. Is anyone?
Hello. Hello.
Right, so you walk in and it's just like it's a crappy little, you know, it has like a crappy little almost like a desk, you know. And there's a back room. No one's in there. There's papers all over the place. It's kind of a mess. It doesn't look like it's, you know, it looks like kind of a fly-by-night kind of situation. Pun intended, actually.
Well, if there's nobody here, I guess my question is, if we can't find the guy, can we at least find another balloon that we could, you know, quote unquote borrow?
Yes. Well, so as you guys are ruffling through, like you're kind of taking a peek around, and the back door opens and you see like it's Santo, and he's like in his like union suit underwear kind of thing. Looks pretty disheveled and hungover.
Oh,
And he
alrighty.
says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Hello there. Yeah, we are looking for someone who can ferry us to the city of Hisflit. Would that be at all possible?
And he's kind of like, his eyes, like, could you talk quieter? He's hungover.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Is it just like Gorath will recognize that and
You do,
Did I see you at the bar last night, sir?
maybe, probably. Yeah.
He means
Means yes.
I was like, he's looking at Gorath like, kind of like, and squinting his eyes like, yeah, I kind of remember this big hairy object. Yeah, whatever. So, Hisflit, did you say?
yep.
That's right.
And so what's in Hisflit?
Well, that's my home. And, well, there's been an incident. It seems that all the items and things that are being sent to Lubo are coming back spoiled, despite the fact that the trip is relatively short. We wanted to investigate that. I was supposed
Also detective.
people who investigate stuff. And he said, and he looks at his bird.
Yeah, I'm a detestivator.
And he says, "That's a lovely bird there, son. Love that bird.
Thank you.
Might be delicious with some eggs."
That's what I was saying.
Birdie immediately chirps back aggressively, and then he sort of hides behind McMuffin.
Right, like cowers around his neck a little bit. Cool. Just his beak showing. Nice. Hisflit. Well, I have been to Hisflit. I can't say much about it. I don't remember anything. Do you have money?
Is that out of character or in character?
That's in character. He
Of course
wouldn't
you
go
have
there.
money.
Oh. So, and he kind of he stands up a little straighter and wipes down his sleeves a little. He takes his mustache and he twirls it a little. It's like combs his runs his fingers through his hair a little bit. Looks around for his hat. And he's got a top hat. He puts his top hat on. It's like, "I'm your man. Hisflit, huh?
Well, question. Can you drive? And then he points at, he overlooks them and he says, "With your journey last night in the bar, how do you know we'll get there safe?"
This is a good question, son. Balloon travel, it is never safe. But it's as safe as any kind of travel, I suppose. It just has its different things. It's a more like, we get up in the air takes us, we might get there. We'll eventually get there. Have you ever traveled by balloon? Have you all...
McMuffin looks at Yulia. You sure you just don't want to walk there?
Okay, I mean, I would be okay with walking.
I want to take the balloon.
And so Santo hears that, and out of like his pocket that he's not wearing, out of his underwear, actually, it would be funnier. He stretches out a balloon, blows it up. He blows it up really big, and it has Santo, his name on it, and he ties it off, and he hands it to Gorath.
No, balloon.
And he asks
okay.
you,
he starts twisting it in his hand and makes that annoying rubber balloon sound. That.
Oh my god.
And McMuffin says, "Can I have a balloon too?"
He's like,
Yulia does a face palm, like, "Oh my god, I'm traveling with children."
sure, you
McMuffin
can.
sort of has that.
What's up?
He has that very conniving look on his face because he knows.
Oh god.
So he pulls another balloon from somewhere around his back, and this one he stretches out. He blows it, and it's a very long balloon, and he twists it up into a thing, and it becomes a giraffe, and he hands the giraffe to McMuffin, and he says,
"Muffin, take it."
Go ahead.
He's a magician.
Oh no. McMuffin takes it and he starts rubbing it on his coat. I think he's heavy. Yeah, he's wearing a coat right now. Mm-hmm. Until he can feel static, and he looks at Gorath and says, "Gorath, you ever seen I can do magic?" And then he holds his finger out and he shocks Gorath on, like, I don't know, his hand.
Oh!
A man of many tricks.
Well, it's not as impressive as making an animal out of a balloon.
Magic is still magic.
Posting Yulia's expression in words, and I think she's going to clear her throat and be like, "I think the question is, how much is this going to cost, and how long would it take for everything to be prepared before we can go?"
And he says, "Well, I can see who I should be talking to here." Yes, ma'am. We could be all. Have you traveled by balloon before?
Can't say that I've done much traveling at all, but no, not by balloon, certainly.
Well, let me assure you, it's a wonderful thing. We will be seeing the sights. You will be breathing fresh air. We will be traveling faster than any other mode of transportation available to man. It is, and he rattles off something like, this balloon made the parsec and it made the Kessel Run 3 parsecs. I should be able to get you there, weather permitting, in 2 days.
All right, and as for the transportation fee?
That's a different matter. And he kind of looks at you guys. He's staring at you, and you can see he's just kind of weighing it. He's like, He's trying to gauge, like, how much you guys weigh, and he's looking at Gorath and kind of giving, like, a shaking his head a little bit and questioning look, because he looks heavy. He says, 20 silver each per day.
Well, looks like we're walking.
You guys have the money.
Oh, I was going to say,
money.
I still don't know how much money we got total. I
couldn't remember what the wheel and deal was, but you guys should have 600 gold after Gorath's sword purchase. Minus maybe 50 of that at the bar or something. I don't know how much Gorath spent at the bar, but it shouldn't have been much, actually. Because remember
not too
I know I have like 160 silver pieces on me, so I think we split it afterwards. I'm not too sure, though. I think we did.
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys had a bunch of money.
600,
yeah.
So
and you still have some loot.
We'll just say 200 silver apiece?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. All right, 200 silver. Okay, so we can do that. Yulia will tell him. How long will it take to prepare for launch, I guess?
I can be ready in a few hours. My ship is just down the street where I parked it. And you can tell by when he says parked it, he meant crashed it.
Oh, God.
I mean, it just needs a little bit of paint.
Well, Gorath's excited.
Muffin sort of gulps in some air and he looks at Yulia. You sure you don't want to walk? I don't trust this balloon. But then he looks at Gorath and he smiles. Well, if Gorath's happy,
Gorath's childlike enthusiasm is infectious, and Yulia also seems like she's excited about this. She claps her hands together and she says, "All right, we've got a couple hours. We'd better go see if we can grab anything that'll be helpful for the journey, or when we get there."
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't trust him enough to pay up front, but we'll pay when we get up and running.
Yeah. I mean, you won't pay until you get on. And he sees you, and he says, "No, money when you get on the ship. We'll be a few hours. Everything is okay. I'll meet you back here."
Right. Well, before we get going, I've got to find us a goat.
I don't think we need a goat on this trip, Gorath.
A goat? Why a goat, Gorath? But McMuffin hears Yulia speaking. He says, No. I like the sound of a goat, but why a goat?
Well, see, what we're supposed to do is, before we go on any travels, is we take a goat and we cut its head off, and then we open it up and we take its entrails and we put it all over the vessel that we're taking, so as to give us luck.
Obviously.
McMuffin, at first he was smiling because he wanted to really hear what Gorath had to say. But the moment he heard cut off his head, he went from smiling and he slowly went from... He's just I'm going to show it.
Solid.
It's the luck goat. Tradition.
That's pretty much it.
Solid.
How about we don't do that, Gorath?
You know what else is lucky, Gorath?
What's that?
If you she thinks rapidly. You can get these rabbit feet, and those are very, very lucky. Those are extra lucky. You get one of those. Yeah, you get one of those, and we'll definitely be set for the trip.
Can I borrow your bow?
I don't think I have a bow. McMuffin, do you have a bow? Or just a sling?
No, just a slingshot.
McMuffin, can I borrow your slingshot?
I don't trust you with this. As you take a step back,
Don't
I
worry.
can get you a...
Yeah, don't worry, Gorath. We can absolutely find one. They're trinkets that a lot of merchants will sell on the streets. Vendors, I should say.
I wish I'd known about that. Rabbits are so much smaller than goats.
Okay, with this bit of conversation, Yulia will turn back to Santo and say, "All right, we will be back shortly. We'll meet you here, and then we can get going." And kind of encourages Gorath and McMuffin out the door like a mother embarrassed of her children.
Cool.
Like, all right, dear, come on, let's go. Come on, honey.
I want another balloon!
You can get another balloon when we come back.
You're about to get on a balloon. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys want to go shopping? Maybe this is a good time to take a quick break.
Sure.
Okay, so
Shopping.
before you guys,
go ahead.
So you guys are leaving the shack, the balloon shack, and Santo walks by you guys and says, "Make sure you guys get some." He looks at Gorath in his shirtless, tattooed body. Says something warm, and walks off. It's cold in the balloon.
Something warm.
Yeah.
If only Yulia was a fast knitter.
Mm. Scarves and sweaters for everybody.
Yep.
But that's his only advice to you. Because he's kind of a jerk, and he should have told you to probably buy, food and rations and that sort of thing. Anyway.
Well, I know that Gorath will, basically find some place to buy, quote-unquote, adventuring gear. And given that they have all the standard stuff, he'd end up buying one of each.
Awesome. I thought when you said goat, I was like, oh, are you going to make a jacket out of it? I'm going to mix the blood, and then I'm going to tan the hide, and then build me a coat.
All in a couple of hours.
Exactly. Sure.
Yep. I think it's a good idea to bring warm clothing, and if we can't find anything already made, we can certainly get, wool cloaks or something like that. In Gorath's case, a wool blanket.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay, and
Question.
stock up on rations. Go ahead.
McMuffin was looking through a list of things he wanted, and most of them are adventuring gear. But I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are there...
I heard, are there?
I thought we said yes. I'm pretty sure we said yes.
For some reason, I keep losing half of what McMuffin says. I heard, are there?
Oh,
what?
sorry. I'm on push to talk. Are there
Cool.
guns in this world, like muskets and whatnot?
There are guns. Mm-hmm. If you look in the stuff, you'll
Equipment.
see. Yeah, you'll see. They're just kind of folded in with. They're not like good guns, let's say. But there's definitely some.
Not gonna get your M4.
No, probably not.
Oh, damn. So no...
But they're basically
Okay, perfect, because I already have an idea of what he wants. I've...
Cool. Well, do you guys have... I mean, the general stuff you'll be able to easily get. If you want something, out of the ordinary, we could roleplay that.
I am going to post what I'm looking for in the words chat request.
Does
Words.
while Gorath is doing shopping, he'll also be looking for something warm and rabbit's feet. Does he happen to find a coat made of rabbit's feet?
Wow. I don't think you'll be able to find a coat made of rabbit's feet. But for sure you could almost certainly find a rabbit coat. Like a rabbit... I don't even know what would you call it? Like
A rabbit pelt coat?
pelt coat, tunic thing? Sure. Yeah, or like a cloak, let's say. Cloaks are probably what you want.
Yeah.
And that'd be pretty cool, actually.
Be pretty badass.
Yeah.
How much would a rabbit cloak cost me?
That's a great question. They don't even have cloaks in there, do they? Rabbit
Nope.
cloak. Let's see.
Might count as a fancy item. It looks like elaborate clothes are 20
Yeah.
silver each.
Yeah, I would say that's about
Yeah, I
right.
estimated the wool cloaks as being 20 silver a piece, so maybe
Yeah.
rabbit coat would still be the same category.
Yeah, let's call it because that is fancy and it's cool. Mm-hmm. I'd say that's kind of rad. Let's take a peek at what we got here. Sorry, I didn't have the sheet up. Sprink. I like the idea of a rabbit coat. That's very good. And for sure it would have, at least a foot on it. Somewhere.
Yeah, and I would ask the shopkeeper, if I could have any of the extra rabbit feet.
Yeah, and the shopkeeper would look in back, like where you can't see behind, and there's like these just like tons of blood-soaked feet. It's like, sure, I think for an extra silver, I think we could accommodate you.
Fuck yeah. 21 silver.
Exactly.
So I think I actually estimated out pretty good where I'm at money-wise. So that would put me down to like...
And did you want the blood on there? Because they'll clean them. But
Gorath does not care.
Okay,
I mean, he has
checking.
gore in his name.
Yeah, I was making sure that the blood wouldn't be important to you to like wipe on the ship or something.
Oh my god. Gorath.
Sure, why not?
Gorath.
Of course. Cool.
And how many rabbit's feet does that net me?
Oh, they can get you a good 5-10 rabbit's feet on there. No problem.
All right.
So let's just say they're going to like stitch them in like they're like think of it as like tassels like around the like like where your shoulders would be all the way around. It's going to be like rabbit foot tassels.
Yes, that's amazing.
Awesome. That's going
right,
to look good. We need someone to do a drawing of Gorath and his rabbit. But they weren't able to put the shoulder things on there yet, so those would be under your cloak still.
Okay, yeah, just this one bulge where the skull is.
Maybe you can get Yulia to.
Yeah, I'll have to fix that later.
Stitch the pauldrons onto your because that'd look pretty badass actually.
That would look awesome.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
All right.
So what are the? Sorry, I'm split. Cloaks we can get. I would say cloaks probably aren't fancy unless you want fancy ones, right? So mirrors, lantern, spyglass.
I don't know. Fancy to me for a wool cloak would be. I don't know. I feel like Yulia is pretty utilitarian, so no, probably. Say half price, 10 silver each.
Yeah, or even like it depends. Let's see. There's no equivalent anything on here, is there?
Other than fancy clothes, nope.
So fancy clothes being let's say half. That's cool.
Okay.
10 silver
right, so
for
that would bring
like a nice wool like cloak, right, with hood.
Yeah.
Maybe even comes classic like the clasp is nice. It's like silvery or something.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Not fancy, but not shite either. Cool.
Boom. And it looks like McMuffin, you're getting a bunch of tools: a pickaxe, rope, grappling hook.
Now bandages is a great idea.
Yulia does have bandages, so
True.
But having more is good, I think.
And Gorath literally got
good
one of each adventuring item.
Okay, cool. He has all the things.
One of each adventuring item.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah. What you were talking about, how I walk into the adventuring store and they're like, "Oh, well, you need this and this and this and this."
So you've got a fishing. You've got a fishing pole. Gorath has you have a fishing pole. It sounds like.
Wait, you do?
Well, yeah, but the shop assistant told him that he needed another one. So.
You didn't get all the tools. You're just saying. So you have 20 foot of rope, iron spike, chalk, parchment, flint steel, torches, tent, dice, caltrops. Caltrops are good to have, actually. Bandages, travel ration, water skin, and a wine skin, which they will fill for you.
Got to have the two different skins.
For sure. I would just need the one, and it wouldn't be water. Cool. So, but you didn't get one of each of the tools, is what you're saying?
No, I did not. I did not get any tools.
No fishing pole.
No.
Cool. So, how much money you guys have left? How much money do you have left, Gorath? I'm curious about this.
I have 89 silver left.
Wow. All right. You did some spending. That's nice.
Yep.
I've got 548 silver left, not including the 20 that we're going to be spending. But
I thought we only had 200 each.
Oh, you're right. My brain is not working correctly.
Oh,
so 148.
Yulia was thinking, though, the spyglass. I was going to say, man, you definitely.
Yes, I definitely want the spyglass because we are going to be up in the air and she wants to see everything.
Hell yeah. I think that is rad. I'm glad they had that on there. That's a great one because I was going to say that they'll have some sort of like little spyglass. Cool. And those are cheap. I love this game's like random prices of stuff. I'm like, sure. Like
a musket's $50 and a grappling hook is $20. But wait, a grappling fire arrow is $20, but a grappling.
Yeah, it's super funny.
Interesting.
But like, a musket is rad.
Kind of random.
Yeah.
I think McMuffin just saw it. He's like, what?
And so the musket's about right? Like you'll have to maybe you'll practice loading it and that sort of thing. 'Cause, you know what I mean? But I imagine that's actually pretty good because it'll take you a while to reload it and then you can shoot it again. But that's like a turn. That sounds good. I like the fire oil. McMuffin is thinking. Except that there's going to be an open flame in the balloon. Good luck. Cool. So that's cool. Nothing.
And I think we can. Yeah, I think we can say that took us. That took enough time that we were probably ready to go back, unless somebody has anything else they want to do. Oh man. All right.
Cool.
I say we go meet up with our guy and get on the road, so to speak.
So you guys are walking around doing your shopping, and you can see in the distance, people are starting to talk about it that the balloon is visible over the trees. So you could probably just go over there and not meet
All right.
Cool.
That sounds like a plan.
Yes.
So you
Gorath,
wander off.
I just imagine he's so excited that he runs off ahead of everyone else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's giddy as a schoolgirl. It's clapping his hands weirdly. Come on! And he's running out front. Come on, McMuffin, get your fucking bird. Let's go. That's awesome.
And McMuffin's just tired because he didn't know how heavy this musket and all his stuff got. So he just carried this huge bag, and you can see the pickaxe and everything's just half-heartedly put in. So he said, give me a minute.
Cool. What was that, McMuffin? I missed that last part.
I said, regardless, we get there.
Yes,
Yeah,
we arrive.
Cool. So you guys it's like a clearing, just just behind the town, in the woods. It's a perfect spot for him to land. Except you can see that there's some big gouges out of the bottom of the balloon. So what this looks like, it looks like a mini ship, right? It's on the ground. He's got a couple of workmen with him, holding it down with ropes. It's kind of elevated because it makes it easier just to kind of take off in the whole thing and not get it cut in the trees. So, but it's it's not big, right? It's you guys are going to be comfortable, but not very comfortable, right? It's, I don't know.
We're going to be very friendly with
exactly.
good thing.
Exactly. And so when you walk up, so it looks like a little bit of a sailing vessel of the time, right? That's what they made up. I'm basing this on I went to the museum, the balloon museum, and they had one. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Oh, cool.
So it's like a little balloon. This one is a sphere balloon, and he's got it mostly, he's got it mostly going, and you see him, and it looks like there's fire coming from his hand / maybe his ring, right? And he's just he is heating the air above it. This is a big roundish balloon. Yulia, what color is it?
Something really visible, so bright orange.
Ooh, orange. Orange it is.
Bright orange.
Cool, so it's a bright orange, and the balloon is just freeform, but it is held in place by netting on top with ropes down to the bottom. There's a big metal ring that keeps the ropes all kind of together. If you're standing in the ship, it would be 12 feet above your head, basically. And that's where he's throwing the smoke up into this thing. And it looks like there's a little trap door, so he can heat the air, then trap it. And it looks like you can see a rope that looks like it goes up to the top that also lets air out on top. So there's a few controls. There's rigging all over the place. Go ahead.
I'm just going to tell you, Yulia has her sketchbook out and is scribbling madly. Go on.
Oh yeah, awesome, cool. Actually, that reminds me. I think I have a pseudo picture of what I envision this thing to kind of look like. Let me grab this. Boink. Copy image. Because I know McMuffin likes visuals. So we're going to visual.
Everybody likes pictures.
No doubt. So cool. So, and it
nice.
it does it. Yeah, it's rad, isn't it? Like, so you've got. I'm going to say it has the flags. So the flags are on the sides, but you can tell they're also attached. Like you can almost row them, like get to and there's a rudder in back that is like you guys have seen a ship or at least pictures of ship and know what a ship looks like. So it kind of looks like a baby ship. It's probably like no longer than 15 feet long. Probably it's not very big. It's probably more like 12 feet long.
Okay.
So you guys are, you'll find a way to sleep. And it's kind of fancy. It's got all the little, like banners and things along the bottom. It all looks very adorable, right? Trying to, this is a scary mode of transportation. So, and
gotta try and make you comfortable.
Yeah. And you see a couple of the workers trying to like smooth out and touch up with paint the broken bits on the bottom because this thing clearly crashes now and again. And Sato sees you guys and says, "My friends, come!" And he motions you to up the stair. Like it's a little platform. Come on up.
Gorath is first.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And so he's at the top of the stairs greeting you all. He's like, "See, for you, I put on my jacket." And you can see now he's dressed he's got a nice like wool waistcoat. He's kind of a dandy, right? Like he's a little fancier than he needs to be. Top hat, mustache, waxy. His shoes are like mirrors. They're just gorgeous,
Damn. All right.
And Gorath comes up the stairs and he kind of grabs your shoulders and is like, he's actually fairly tall, but not as tall as you. So he's reaching up and he's kind of like, yeah, I think we're going to need you to help us steer the boat, if that's okay. He's like, strong man, or whatever.
McMuffin looks at Yulia. I have a bad.
Yulia agrees. Just don't jump. Don't jump up and down with glee, Gorath. I don't think the boat can handle it.
And so he motions.
Seriously, imagining
Gorath strings.
I'm just imagining, just squeeing, just like it's the most excited you will ever see an orc outside of battle.
And then Yulia's up
pretty
next.
Much. Yep.
And he says he might also be good at the oars. We'll see. Good strong man. This is going to be very helpful in this flight. Now you, young lady, I might need you to help me figure out our location. And you can see there's a few instruments. I can't remember what the thing is that tells you latitude, but he's got a few tools.
Sextant?
Yes,
yeah,
sextant. Exactly. He's got a sextant.
Okay.
And he sees your spyglass. He's like, and he gives you like, oh, nice. That's nice. Looks a lot like mine. And he pulls out his. He has one too. This is going to be a great trip. And then, yes,
Yulia looks a little nervously over at the controls, but she also seems excited, nervous, but excited.
Yeah, and you, my bird man.
That's me.
You big gun. That's very impressive. He's impressed that you now have a gun. We're going to put you up front, I think. Have you ever shot what's the word for the... Sorry, I'm spacing. I don't have my notes up. One moment.
Ever shot clay pigeons?
Ever shot a man?
Have you ever shot a ballista?
I've never even hurt anyone. So no. Actually, I just bought it out of whim. And he looks at the gun. I'll be honest, I don't even know how it works.
Not a problem. Ballista is very easy. You point and you shoot. It couldn't be more simple. It's actually very difficult, but we will teach you.
Killing anyone, right?
Go on up in front. Take a look. You'll see.
Oh?
I love your bird. It's beautiful.
Thank you. As he McMuffin pets Birdie, and then he says, then he whispers to Birdie, don't trust that man. I think he's...
And then he jumps back under the balloon and continues firing up the air. And it's like, it sounds like a hot air balloon. It's a pretty loud sound.
Okay.
Fire coming seemingly from his hand. It's interesting. Is there anything? So you guys are like looking around. It's actually feels pretty sturdy. You're like, I mean, it looks like a ship. There's chunks out of it here and there. It is what it is.
Yulia is still just scribbling away in her sketchbook very intently.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you guys all have all your stuff. You got rations and that sort of thing. Is that right? Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
I mean, Gorath has one of everything, so I think we're going to be good here. Cool. So, is there anything you guys want to do before takeoff?
Say a prayer.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you didn't go with your vision.
I mean, I suppose I could, but
what would you
I don't know. I
ask?
guess I interpreted it. Well, that's the thing. I don't know if I would ask something like, "Will we have a safe voyage?" I guess I interpreted the commune with deity as being more like asking advice rather than tell me what's going to happen. But I suppose it could be. I suppose it could be both of those. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Maybe praying to your god might be a good thing. I think that's the only thing I can think of.
So,
maybe I can make an investigation check to make.
Oh yeah, we could. I mean, you could definitely do that.
an investigation check to check what, McMuffin?
To check to see if everything looks fine.
If he can find anything that looks like it needs to be addressed before we take off.
Sure. And you don't need to roll for that. See, looking around, you're like, oh, that's what I was saying. Like, it looks like it's been used, right? Like, it's seen a lot of airtime, which is actually good, right? Like, maybe that actually reassures you a little bit. Like, you're a little freaked out because, like, this thing clearly gets beat up. But you're also trying to imagine, how do you land this thing and where? You know what I mean? Like, so that's interesting. But like, it's in one piece. Now McMuffin's been on ships, so he's seen some crappy ships that are beat to hell, right? Like, probably taking fire, that sort of thing, and it's not good. So this one looks, reasonably decent. But definitely has had some use.
Yeah, McMuffin sort of makes a smug look and he looks at something. This ship's okay.
Well, and especially McMuffin would know, he's looking at the ropes and he's like, this guy knows how to tie a rope, right? And you would know. Growing up around ropes and sailors. I mean, what sailor doesn't know their ropes?
McMuffin McMuffin says, next time let me tie this knot too.
There you
As
go.
he sort of looks at it. He's just being annoying. He's just sort of picky on him. It's meant to be nice and cute, not to be antagonistic.
No, and he's fine. He doesn't care at all. He's giggling. And, he's just busy getting the air in and the balloon up. And so he's like, he looks around, he's like, last chance. You need anything?
Okay, Yulia is going to not waste a vial of holy water on the divine vision, but I think she is going to say just a general prayer,
Absolutely.
Oh, Lady of Light, as we are about to enter your realm, please guide us to safely to our destination, something like that.
Absolutely. I love it. Cool. So he sees that. Nobody says anything. He looks over at Rabbit Skin Boy, and he's like clapping his hands and moving the rudder like aggressively. And he's like, "That's a fun." and he looks at McMuffin. We're all good to go. And so he calls down to the guys holding the lines. Let her go. And so you guys start slowly rising, and it's cool. You guys have, you've never been in a hot air balloon, So he's cranking the heat, so it's good to go, and you're rising reasonably fast. He stops, pulls a rope, and it plugs the bottom hole, and you guys are just going up. And you start on the platform, and so you're a little up, and now you're rising above the trees, and you can see the tops of the town now, and it's fantastic. Right, just imagine your first time flying.
Yep.
You've never seen this vantage point before. I wouldn't think, unless you're high on a mountain or that sort of thing. But you're just in the middle of nowhere and you're just dangled, suspended. It's got to be fantastic.
Yeah, I think I speak for all of our characters when I say we're probably just looking out at the view and just staring at it in awed silence, with maybe the exception of Gorath, who's still giggling like a schoolgirl.
Who's vigorously flapping one of the flag oars.
Yeah, but while giggling like a schoolgirl.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so,
and Yulia's already got her spyglass out. She's kind of just trying to see everything that she can possibly see.
Cool. And you can definitely see some of the townsfolk waving, because this is
McMuffin waves back.
Cool.
Yep, waving back.
Hey, does McMuffin see anyone he knows? Like the brothers or anyone?
Quiet, Frida.
Let's see. You don't, actually. Nobody. Yeah, you don't even see the guardsmen, because you would see them. They're off doing stupid stuff. I rolled die fate, and it was a 1. So you see nothing. But unless you didn't want to see something, and then you see stuff. No, I don't know. It's fine.
I see. I see.
You see your parrot. You see your toucan. Cool. So you guys are...
my toucan.
You cut out for me.
What was
you
that?
Keep cutting out for me. Hold that button.
Oh, sorry. You keep using talk.
Yeah.
My parrot's just really. They're flapping their wings. They're having a good time. It's the highest.
Birdie. Birdie is flying without having to fly. Wait, do we know if toucans can fly? How far can they fly? If you were talking, McMuffin, I didn't hear you.
No, it's I don't know how far.
Toucan flight.
Certainly not as high as a balloon can go, I would assume.
Can toucans fly? Tuco, or T-O-C-O, taco? Toucans also occasionally eat... also eat the eggs of other birds. That's not helpful. They're not good at flying. Toucans mainly travel along the trees by hopping. When they do take flight, they flap their wings vigorously and glide, traveling only short distances. Now we know. So there you go. Okay. Not a big flyer, but can fly. Not very far, though. Cool. Cool. So you guys are going up. Yep. Townsfolks. Everybody's excited. Yep. So the weather is, like, decent. It's a little overcast, not unlike it is today. And so you can see kind of, like, Sato taking a look around. He doesn't look thrilled by the weather, but, like, you know, paying customers. And then, by the way, he comes by and asks for payment.
Ah.
Now that we're up, how about the...
Happily...
Pay for the day.
Yeah, happily pay 20 silver for today, and then when tomorrow comes, we'll pay the next 20.
That is a fair. Not a problem. So he gets his cash, he's happy, and you guys are high up now, and it's cool, right? And it's getting cold as well. Let's see what the temperature was. Was it cold? It was not cold. It was warm. But you're getting colder. It's like chillier, it's windier, and you do have... You have a reasonable wind, which is good. He turns to Gorath and he's like, now where are we going again? He's asking to test you to see if you like, you know what I mean? Where are we going? My
Hissy Fit.
friend. Hissy Fit, yes. Do you know where Hissy Fit is? Can you point to it?
And Gorath just, like, looks around and...
McMuffin clears his throat.
That guy knows.
My name is Muffin. And then McMuffin sort of walks over to Santo and says, and he just gives the details saying, it's in the northern part, it's about 30 miles away to 40, 50 miles away from Lubo. It is, if you're entering he gives a big detail. Long story short, it's in the rightmost corner of the...
Right, and as he asked, when Gorath said Hissy Fit, which is hilarious, you felt your sword, like, vibrate a little.
I will pull my sword from its scabbard and examine it. And,
cool.
You know. And
go ahead.
when people say the name properly, does it vibrate?
You tell me. Give it a shot.
Well, I was just thinking, like, because they're talking about the place, and they may have mentioned it while I was holding it. So I don't know if other people saying anything has caused anything to happen.
Not when they say it.
Interesting. So I guess I'll just keep it in my hand and be like,
So then you say that Hissy Fit is to the south, down that way?
And what's Gorath's favorite color?
Gorath's favorite color. Oh, it's blood, of course.
Okay.
Blood, of course.
So when you say Hissy Fit and you're holding the sword, it vibrates a little, and it turns like just like a little bit of blood red, and it kind of jerks your hand, and it points you in a direction.
Ooh.
Oh.
McMuffin looks at the sword. Is it supposed to do that?
I don't know, but it's doing it, and I like it.
Can I make a lore check to see if he heard anything that Ripley being able to do this? Like,
Absolutely.
I would also like to make a lore check.
You guys can help. Both roll and the highest of all four.
Is it R/2d8 or 2d6?
So you have lore, right? Or do you not?
I do. I do have lore. Damn it.
I don't.
What's the input again?
Just type 2d6.
2d6.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't have lore.
Yeah, and it would be with your
There we
wisdom,
go.
but she
Okay.
can't lose. So she. Sorry.
So I got
you
a
can see it.
10.
Which is not great, That's okay.
No, it's not.
But you can't lose.
Better than a 5.
No, that's actually pretty good. So you and McMuffin discuss it back and forth, like, and it's clear to you, like, because Ripley was a sailor, right?
Yes.
And a renowned sailor, let's say. You know, and maybe her thing was, like, she could pilot a ship anywhere, anytime. And you're like, And so that with lore, you had heard about, you know, magical swords or like items that could help sailors, of course, right? It looks like you have one. Gorath bought one. It also makes you believe that Ripley's sword, that this is actually Ripley's sword.
Damn.
McMuffin sort of lets out a very lighthearted scream. He's like, "Oh my god, and he's just fangirling right now. We have Ripley's sword. I feel like I'm gonna faint."
And so,
And then,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say that Gorath will then just start saying the names of random towns.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Lubo! and every time... Well, you don't know where any of these towns are, probably, but you know where Lubo is,
Nope.
at least.
Yep, I know where Lubo is.
And it points right to it.
Lubo, Carp, Lasso, Golden City, Warfield, Donklead, Warkeep.
Oh my god.
That's cool.
And then I'll say
Cloud City.
Mm-hmm. And it points just a little bit... The same basic direction as Hissy Fit, but a little bit to the west. So you guys are going...
That's definitely a good sign.
Yeah, you guys are headed south.
That is okay.
Yeah. So that's cool. And Sato looks at you and he says... He's just like kind of in shock. And then he takes his tools and he stows them away.
Well, you won't be needing...
Well, I mean, you will kind of need those for other trips, won't you? You're
well,
not
he stows them away. He's like, it looks like we have a navigator. We're all good.
Muffin serves smirks. Trust me, we're pretty cool at this job. We've been doing it for a long time. And when he sees long time, he means...
Yeah.
And now Gorath will just have an air of self-importance and be like,
I'm the navigator.
Yep, and he puts his arm on your shoulder again. I knew there was something about you that put you in charge of the navigation. This is good.
Shall we call you
Exactly.
Captain?
I'm not calling you Captain Gorath. Sorry, Gorath.
Navigator Gorath.
Cool. So that was cool. I like the sort of thing. That's fun. So you guys are you're flying at a height. I don't know, maybe probably 10,000 feet ish. Maybe a little less than that because the oxygen is definitely getting thin. You can feel it a little. Like
I was gonna say.
So it's more like.
Yulia busts out the wool cloak, assuming she wasn't already wearing it. And now that she is sort of freed up from her own navigation duties, she's definitely just writing in her book. She's looking around the ship itself and doodling what she sees. She's breaking out the spyglass and seeing what she can see down below. She's having a great time.
Awesome. Yeah, and you guys are you're flying, and you're just like you guys keep pointing out things to each other. You know, like, oh, look at that thing! I've never seen the top of a tree before. That kind of stuff. Yeah. Just crazy things. Let me see if I
You could see a bird flying from on top.
Exactly. Yeah, and you're passing...
Bird tops look a lot like bird bottoms, just without legs.
You're passing by, like... Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a good shot. Well, that's a cool balloon, actually. Where'd that one come from? I like that. Yeah, that's rad. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're passing through, like, low clouds, which is crazy occasionally, where you're just like, whoa. Whoa. All of a sudden I couldn't see you for a second. And just like...
Sky fog.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Hold on. And like an hour goes by and you're making progress and you're headed in the right direction, and every once in a while Sato will come back to you, and you'll check your sword and make sure we're on, going the right way. You're steering the rudder. The rudder is pretty obvious how it works. You're trying, the wind is affecting which way you're going, that sort of thing. So you're just steering in, steering out. But now you can use your sword to be like, that's pretty rad.
That is rad.
And he comes and talks to you, McMuffin, and he shows you like the ballista. It's a small one, right? Like it would be a very big like crossbow. It's mounted on the front. He only has a few bolts, and one of them is tied to a rope, so you can practice. You can like shoot it out at something you're looking at, and then it'll fall to the bottom of the boat, and you drag it back in. And so he just teaches you, because it takes a little practice to master it. He's like, yeah. It says, see the sight, and there's a sight thing. You can kind of guess what it looks like, and you can kind of practice on the cloud. Like that kind of thing, and get used to that.
What would you need this for?
I feel bad for any passing, like, flock of geese or something.
Mm-hmm. But McMuffin
volunteer target practice.
Would McMuffin hit a volunteer?
McMuffin's not very good yet, though, so they're probably okay.
And would he shoot at a passing bird, McMuffin?
No, McMuffin's too kind for that. He would never shoot a passing bird like that.
Good.
He can barely... He's never killed a person, so you never...
But he answers your question. Yeah, generally, we're the only thing up in the sky, but you never know. We've run into a few
dragon.
Things.
Dragon
Never a dragon.
Out of nowhere.
And he does the symbol that crosses his chest. Never a dragon.
Right.
I heard dragons are really nice.
I would like to never know. I hope to never know the answer to that question. And he goes on and checks the altitude and that sort of thing. And you guys are flying along, and you notice him. He keeps looking at this dark patch of clouds, and he's like, He doesn't look excited about those clouds, and he's kind of looking around. Because the problem with the balloon is you kind of can't avoid the weather.
The storms, yeah.
So he decides you guys are going to come down a little bit, closer to the ground, because it looks bad up top. And if one of you had asked, he'd be like, "Nah, I'm not really excited about that patch of cloud there." Because it's dark.
Yeah, I'd say
like
Yulia would notice. Yeah, I'd say Yulia would notice and ask him if they need to be worried. How bad does it look?
It does not look good. So he's gonna come get a little lower to the ground. So you guys are coming in closer to the treetops, but not really. So now you can really make out stuff. It's really cool because you can see that you're traveling very fast. Like this thing travels way faster than anything else. Like it's like horse on a good day fast. Which is cool. Because you've got reasonable air wind at this point, and it's going. You seem to be going generally in the direction that you wanted to go, which is cool. Do you guys do anything else while you're up here?
Does what flow?
Do you guys do you do anything else while you're like? Are you just like? I imagine. Is there anything else you're doing while we're? Hopefully not that. That's awesome. That's Gorath. Yeah, so
I was looking for
down.
pictures of a ballista, and I found that somehow.
Why?
Let me see if I got a picture of ballista. I can never spell it. 2 L's. So like, it'd be something. It's here. This is a decent one. Copy this image. I'm thinking it's like an old version of something along that lines.
Okay.
Right, yeah, it's just a crossbow. Think of it as a big crossbow. I mean, it's not a big one. Big ballistas, would be, for dragons
are
would be big.
huge.
Yeah, but you got to have. This is the gun on a small ship. It's basically a crossbow. Just think. I mean, it could be just a large. Actually, that'd probably be the easiest thing to do. It's a large crossbow,
Like a mounted crossbow.
Yeah, that's on a hinge. It's cool, and that has a rope tied to it so you can practice and or snare things or whatever. Because hopefully you'll never need it. But he's keeping you guys occupied. He's giving you the full tour and trying to make this the adventure he promised in soap on his window. Balloon adventures. So after a bit, it starts to rain, and it's a good thing you guys had your wool, because
Mm-hmm.
And it's going along.
Does it affect the fire or anything at all?
No, I mean he occasionally pulls. So basically, it looks kind of like he has a rope to underneath basically a lot like what a hot air balloon would have, and he has like a little.
Okay.
There's like a little step so he can get up to the ring and just fire up the air inside the balloon, just like a small opening.
Okay.
It's like a little
All
plug. And then he plugs it up and it stays in there. And when you guys came down, you saw him. He pulled on another rope that you can't see it, but if you had asked, he would have said, "This lets some of the hot air out. This is how I can control the thing." There are also sandbags and whatnot, to help with that should he need it, that sort of thing. Because mostly this is like keeping it going the right direction as best you can. Excuse me. But keeping it, deciding how high or low you want to be, that's kind of the control you have. Good luck with it.
Alrighty.
But then it starts lightninging. You see a little lightning and you're like,
Are we going to be
this is a nothing. And you can
should we land? I think we should land.
We could land. And he's looking at. I say we go further. And he says it in the same kind of way that like Bill Murray said it. I keep going. In Caddyshack. I don't think the hard stuff's going to come down for some time.
Well,
but he's looking.
I leave you in.
Yeah, he's okay with it. And you're pretty low at this point anyway, so it seems okay. Let me see here.
It's fine.
Just a little lightning, and then you guys hear the thunder come in, and it seems like the storm is still, relatively not super close, but it is raining on you. So, what do you do? Anything?
McMuffin sort of tries to keep warm. That's about it. There's not much to do, I feel like. I can just brute the rain.
Totally.
Gorath will pull out his sword and say, "Good weather."
Put your sword away. Do not point it up into the air.
And with good weather, it does not do anything.
Oh.
Cool.
Seriously, Gorath, put your sword away.
McMuffin looks at the sword. Please, put the sword away.
Will sheath his sword, disappointed that it did not point him toward good weather.
Okay. And so you guys are just kind of going along. It's a little creepier, you know. It's not too bad. But, like, you're thinking, all right. And he looks a little worried, but not super worried. And your guy's worry is probably based on how worried he looks, right? And he doesn't look that worried. But he's looking at that storm, you know, like, and just kind of like, and he has Gorath, like, let's go a little east here and try to avoid this thing just a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys do that for a little bit. Ooh, and that actually works pretty well. And it seems like everything's cool. The rain stops. I was rolling for this the whole time, so you guys were lucky.
Yeah, I heard that.
So that was cool.
That's...
And it's nighttime now, let's say, right? And he says, you know, if you guys do, we should probably take some rest in shifts. Mm-hmm. You know, he'll try to stay up the most, but he'll need some rest as well. But he and Gorath should probably rest at opposite times, let's say.
Yeah.
He might ask to borrow your sword during the night, and or he'll just get out his tools and find the way.
If you lose this sword, I'm throwing you off of this ship.
Oh God!
And he laughs because he's like, I wouldn't be the only one falling out of the sky. We'll all die together. It'll be a fun time. But yeah, like
Muffin over here says, that's not fun.
Because you guys don't know how to land this thing, or how to keep air in it. So that's kind of a problem. Throwing him overboard would probably not be good for you guys.
I mean, the landing wouldn't be the hard part. It's the surviving the landing that would be difficult.
Correct. Oh,
we
you'll
could
land.
get it down on the ground.
You'll land for sure. 100% you're going to land.
We'll land. Whether our torsos are missing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you might survive. Could happen. It'd be a pretty sick roll. Cool. So I was hoping for worse luck for you guys, but you it's been a pretty boring night, actually.
Yeah.
So with that, we're kind of at time. I was gonna go a little extra if we hit into an encounter, and we've been kind of low on encounters, but that's not too bad for the first night.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
I
else
think that's fine. So,
what else did you want to do?
What'd you say?
What else did you guys want to? Did you have something you wanted to do?
Not in this session.
Yep, survive.
Maybe next.
Survive and land.
Yeah,
I think
and
at some
make
point
lessons.
they would have to stop Gorath from lighting a campfire.
Lighting a campfire.
Yeah, everyone wakes up and there's something burning.
Yeah.
And he's got like some brisket or something, or one of his rabbit feet, and he's cooking it.
Everyone just starts madly stomping out the fire. Gorath, no! Dad.
Hey! I was making everybody dinner.
Yeah, Santo, he opens a trapdoor in the bottom of the thing, and he kicks the fire down below, and he's like, Oh, by the way, this is also the toilet, in case you were wondering. And then he closes it.
Toilet? Wait, what?
It just opens.
And then he looks everyone
Oh
around.
god.
But that means I have to use the bathroom.
No, it's a... Well...
I mean,
And then he looks at
you.
Yulia and he says, I don't know if I want to do it around. And he looks at Yulia and then Gorath.
I think we can have an agreement that we will all turn our backs just out of respect.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there's a balloon understanding. I mean, you can go over the
Yeah.
side, too, if you'd like. You do you, but,
Yeah.
like, you know, he has female and male travelers, so, you know, he keeps it kind of
There's
clean.
an understanding.
Yeah. And so
I feel so bad for anyone who is misfortunate enough to be underneath us.
I mean,
can you imagine
yes.
what that would be like?
Yes, I can. So, yes, luckily, you know,
God.
this world is not as populated as